Hello, there's a story I wanted to follow up on. I'm just in the process of having tea, so this really is a replacement for Tea with Tim. And it's about Pen Farthing. So this morning he appeared on one of the breakfast shows and apologised for his language. But in the process of the reports which have appeared over the day, we've got a report from Foreign Office Minister James Cleverly. And he said that the government had he apparently said on Monday that the government had prioritised the evacuation of people over pets. And he then goes on in an interview that he gave to LBC Radio to say, Mr. Farthing is a British national. He had the opportunity to leave Afghanistan much earlier. His staff are enrolled onto the scheme by which Afghans that worked with the British were able to be evacuated. As I have said, we have always prioritised the evacuation of people. Well, he has put his finger on the issue precisely, the issue which I have been saying for the last 2 weeks was being mishandled by the British government and by the British authorities, and indeed this is now confirmed. So there should have been two systems working at the same time. One to get people out of Kabul and the other to get people into the UK. They should not have been running concurrently. They should not necessarily have been running concurrently, and they certainly shouldn't both have been controlled by the British ambassador in his makeshift office in Kabul airport. We should have been using a third country and shipping people as fast as possible out of Kabul and then to be processed into the UK elsewhere. So the idea that there were two different systems, that Mr. Farthing was eligible as a British national to go in one system and his 70 staff were eligible to go in another system. In fact, they haven't been able to go, and Mr. Farthing made it very clear that he got into the Kabul airport not through the help of British troops, but indeed by negotiation with the Taliban, which I thoroughly understand. That is something that we're all going to have to learn how to do. We have to speak to people who we don't necessarily sympathise with in this world. But at the same time, we have to realise that bureaucracy is not king. Bureaucracy is not the way we should be ruling our lives. Bureaucracy, all we have to do is look at the origin of that word. Aristocracy comes from two Greek words. It means aristo, the best, and kratos, rule by the best. Democracy, rule by the people, the demos. When it comes to bureaucracy, this is a bastard word. It sums up the word very beautifully. It's made of two words from two different languages, kratos from Greek, and bureau, which is simply a French word for desk, a piece of wood, from French. Bureaucracy, a modern bastard word. And what does it mean? It means rule by the desk, rule by an inanimate object, not rule by the best, not rule by the people. Plato didn't even like rule by the people. Would Plato have accepted rule by a piece of wood? Would rule by a plank? No. It's unacceptable in every single way that it rules our life. Bureaucracy needs to be trimmed and trimmed back. Red tape should be a red line that nobody crosses, and we should have as little of it as possible. So, please join me again later, and meanwhile, ring the bell. Bye-bye.